Okay, welcome back, Year 6. So we got Lesson 16, Factors and Multiples. So we talked about factors yesterday, and we're also going to talk about multiples as well. All right, so if we think back to what a factor is, there's so many different ways of putting that word, the definition of that word, I should say, into words, into a sentence. Okay, there's three probably main ways. So just say we talk about the number 26 and the factors of 26. So we can either think of the factors of 26 as the numbers that we can count up in and land on 26. So can I count up in 1 and land on 26? Yes. Can I count up in 2s and land on 26? Yes. Can I count up in 3s? No. Okay, so 3 wouldn't be a factor. So that's one way of doing it. The other way of doing it is, can I divide 26 by the number to leave a whole number answer? Well, I can by 2, so 2 is a factor. We said I can't by 3 because 26 divided by 3 doesn't give us a whole number answer. So 3 isn't. Okay, so that's another way of thinking about it. And then the last way of thinking about it is, think of all your times tables, but this is all times tables, not just your 10s. This is your 11s, your 12s. Yep. Is that an answer in that times table? For instance, 2 times 13 is 26. So 13 is a factor of 26 there. I've just given you one of them, haven't I? So there's 3 different ways really of thinking about it. You just choose whichever one works for you. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is pause the screen now, and then you've got these 3 problems. You've got find all the factors of 26, all the factors of 32, and then have they got any factors in common? Okay, so are there any factors of 26 and also 32? So pause now and have a go at those, please. Okay, so all the factors of 26. Okay, it's got 4 factors, and they are 1, 2. If I count up in 3s, I don't land on 26. Do I? 4s, nope. 5s, nope. 6s, nope. 7, 14, 20, nope. 8s, nope. 9s, nope. I go all the way to 13s, and then I'm halfway, so I can jump straight to 26. So it's got 4 factors. And remember we talked about pairs of factors, the 2 numbers I multiply by to get the number. So it's 1 and 26, and it's 2 and 13. So they're the factor pairs. Now all the factors of 32, again, I just think of it in terms of, can I count up and land on the number? And we said, well, 1 is a factor of every single number known to man. I can count up in 2s and land on 32. 3s, no. 4s, yes. 5s, no. 6s, no. 7s, no. 8s, yes. And then it would be, the next one would be 16, and that's half of 32, so I can go straight to 32. So again, the factor pairs are 1 and 32, 2 and 16, 4 and 8. Okay, there's my pairs of factors as well. Did they have any common factors? There's only 2, 1 and 2. All right, now we're going to go on to multiples. Whenever we talk about factors, you'll find we always talk about multiples as well. This is the definition I found online. Multiples are a sequence of products using the same base numbers multiplied by different numbers. And I've said, is that any clearer to you? It's not to me. My definition is, if we think about multiples of 8, yeah, if I count up in 8s, like my 8 times table, what numbers do I land on? All the numbers that I land on are all multiples of 8. All right, so if we think about the multiples of 8, it would be 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, and on and on and on and on. Okay, multiples go on forever. Yep. If we think of the factors, if we think of the factors of 8, there's a finite number. All right, and they are 1, 2, 4, and 8. However many times you do that, you'll always end up with the same 4 factors for 8. The multiples, there's an infinite amount, because in theory you could count up in 8s forever, couldn't you? Okay, so multiples, infinite amount, factors are fixed. Now it's your turn. So focusing on the multiples, you got 3 problems here. All right, this one, and this one. So take your time. Make sure you read the questions thoroughly. Pause the screen now. Press play when you want to go through the answers, please. All right, great. So I've asked you to find 3 multiples of 12 which are less than 100. So think about your 12 times table. Yep, you could have chosen any of these numbers. 48, 60, 72, 84, 96. So any three, I should have said, sorry, any three of those numbers that I've written there give you the right answer, okay, because they're all less than 100. Find two multiples of 5 greater than 150. Two multiples of 5 greater than 150. Well, there's an infinite amount, all right? Provided your answers end with a 0 or a 5, then you got the right answer, okay? Because counting up in 5s, so I would have kept it simple, and I would have said 155 and 160, all right? I always think it's better just to keep it simple so you don't make a silly mistake. But if you'd wanted to, you could have written, why isn't that working? You could have written 10,500. You could have written 100,000. Yep, both of those are multiples of 5. The last one, find two multiples of 8 in between 100 and 120. So again, I would be counting up in 8s, and whichever numbers I land on between 100 and 120 are my answers. And there are two possible answers. All right, say we go, I know 10 8s are 80, so if I count on, I go 88, I go 96, I go 104, so that's one of my answers. I go 112, my next answer, and then I'm on 120. So that's not in between those, is it? So they are my two answers there. Factors and multiples. Hope you found that okay. And we're going to be carrying on with it, but we're going to get a little bit more complicated tomorrow. See you then.